County Food Bank. Okay, so hula hooping. That's the extent of my hula hooping skills. Luckily, we are joined by a hula hooping pro. This is Sophie Lapre. She is with Mini Cirque.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Tell me about how you got into hula hooping and how you took it to the next level.
Right. Well, I'm a dancer. I'm a trained dancer, and so I've always loved performing. But when I first discovered circus arts, when I was traveling in Mexico, I met some jugglers and some fire dancers, and that really inspired me. And I thought, this is something that I have to try. And I really got into it. I started performing, I started teaching, and started exploring all the different circus arts.
And how do you think that circus arts has grown in Canada? How has that been influenced?
Well, it was definitely influenced by a lot of Quebec, French-Canadian circus groups that are now really internationally renowned. And so it's really developed. Circus arts isn't anymore just like a freak show and a sideshow. It's really something that has a high level of artistic excellence to it. And so our company is riding on that evolution of circus arts, and we teach classes and we perform circus shows that kind of try to be as original as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, when I think circus shows, I don't think sort of freak show as you mentioned, and I think that's in large part thanks to Cirque du Soleil, because it is exactly what you mentioned, a high level of technique. Now, you teach classes.
I do. I teach adult classes and kids classes, and we run circus day camps all summer, which we still have a few spots left for kids. But I teach a hula hoop class for adults as well, and so that's a great way to get into fun fitness, get into some kind of fitness that is really motivating and fun to do.
Is it a workout?
It is a workout, absolutely, yeah. So we hoop on the waist, but we also hoop on the legs, on the torso, on the arms, and we do some dance choreography with that, so it's pretty cardio.
Okay,
yeah.
So I know that you're going to be attempting, I'm going to say attempting, to teach me, and I know Leanne's done it before a little bit later in the show, but do you want to show me just a little something? I know that you're going to teach us and do your whole 5-minute routine later, but just because like I said, all I think of when I think of hula hooping is the waist.
Right. Well, I'll get into it when I teach you in a bit, but one thing that really helps you when you're first starting out is having an adult-sized hoop, so having a bigger hoop. So if you're using a toy store hula hoop, you might have a hard time, especially if it has sand or water in it. It makes it wobbly. So these hoops I actually make and sell. They're custom made, and so people can order the size depending on their body size and height. And the larger hoops just rotate a little more slowly, so it gives you more time to learn the technique.
I would think a larger hoop would be more difficult.
No, it's actually rotates more slowly, and so you can kind of get into the groove of it.
How do you make a hula hoop?
You use a special kind of tubing that I buy in the States, and decorated with some grip tape, so some tape that has some grip and stops it from sliding.
I'm a little bit impressed with myself right now.
Yeah, you're doing great.
But I mean, there's a lot more than that in the classes, right?
There is a lot more than that. Hooping on the waist is just part of it. Then you start to integrate the arms and dance steps and bringing it off your body and around your body and jumping through and all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay, so if people were interested in attending one of your classes, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
They can look at my website, minicirque.ca.
Okay, and when are you holding these classes? Is it weeknights or weekends?
Yeah, weeknights. So it runs from September to June, so now we're stopping for the summer, but registration opens soon for the fall session.
Perfect.
So it's generally weeknights. I have a beginner class and an intermediate class, so those that have mastered the basics and want to take it to an even higher level can come and get a little more technical with it.
Okay.
And again, I teach kids classes as well. So
right. Okay.
Hula hooping is part of that.
So you get kids, you get adults. Do you get any men in your classes?
Every now and then, men will come and hula hoop. But I also teach poi classes. So poi is balls on the end of strings that you swing around. It's a different circus art that you can eventually do with fire. So that's really, men and women enjoy that. But the hula hoop, it is mostly women that come. And the circus classes, I teach a whole variety of circus arts. We have acrobatics, we have diabolo, unicycling, all kinds of stuff. So that's, boys and girls equally will come.
I've tried unicycling before. It was a disaster. I fell immediately. So I give you a lot of credit for knowing how to do that and being able to instruct other people. So again, we will be learning how to do a bit of hula hooping, Leanne and I, with you later in the show, and then we'll watch you do your routine, which I'm quite excited for. If you're looking to get a hold of Mini Cirque, there's their website, www.minicirque.ca.